Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Sweat Equity. My name's Leon Hayes, the founder of Yeah Buddy, and I'm joined today with an incredible set of guests. These guests have been with me since the absolute start of the journey of Yeah Buddy, from the design stages to the athletes. I brought together this week a really incredible episode as we look into the journey for the next 12 months for Yeah Buddy. I'd like to welcome to the show my co-director, creative director and co-founder, Eugene, as well as the incredible Brooke staff and Lachie Stewart. Welcome to the episode, guys.
How exciting, hey?
It's great to be here. Awesome foursome for the episode.
Absolutely. Isn't it incredible to have you all? Well, thank you. The past 12 months, we're coming to the end of 2025 now. We've just had both of you featured in Trail Run magazine for both of your stories over the past couple of quarters, like full page spreads, double spreads. We've just had both of your hats for sale inside Wild Earth, the leading retail athletes chain in the country, or for trail running and outdoors. You guys have been on two incredible journeys of pain, resilience, challenge, personal challenges and emotional challenges. And somewhere between the four of us, we've managed to build this little community powered by Yeah Buddy, which people are just
Isn't it
loving.
amazing? And I think, as I was just saying to Brooke before, it's a testament to resilience. Watching, it's just so inspirational watching both of your journeys, and in different ways too. And I think that's what struck me most was how there was so many similarities in the struggles and overcoming these hardships, but also in the differences of how you have your own objectives. And I was blown away by both of them. So I'm in awe.
We couldn't have done it without Yeah Buddy's support, though.
Absolutely.
And the community that is part of that as well. So I think that's a big, important part.
It's been our pleasure, hasn't it, Leon?
Yeah, look, when we started the journey, we knew that we wanted to build a brand for the everyday athlete, right? And for, the athlete in each of us, is our slogan. And when we chose both of you and you chose us, it was the embodiment of that. Everyday people that were going to go out and have a crack and get it done and do something. And whether they succeeded or failed, they would still succeed because of that resilience moment, because of that journey moment. And when we focused on bringing something unique to the market, it was about the sustainability of the hats, the technology within the hats. But that messaging that Eugene has been able to do with both of you in creating the creativity of the hats and the uniqueness, I think has made them both iconic hats. And the Spencer, both triple threat of iconic hats. And I think people have loved that. They've loved the story behind it. It's not just a fast fashion brand. It's not just a piece of equipment that they might use. It's something that they love and that they cherish.
And it's a privilege being able to, make artwork that represents you, in your own unique way. I think they are iconic, aren't they? In their
iconic. You did 58 marathons plus. In fact, we were shipping some hats out a couple of months ago. Because another amazing thing that we did was sponsor and present Run Nation's national or dual national Australia and New Zealand film festival, which 12 months ago, we would never have thought. But we were shipping out to some prizes to each of them, and we put out the Lachie Stewart Legionnaires hat, which Legionnaires hat are a little bit acquired taste.
I think they're a beauty.
They are a beauty. And some of the iconic photos that you've got from your 58 marathons sort of have this iconic view where it's just the two little flaps just sticking out.
It's not till you're running in sub-zero conditions you realize just how good they are. You think they're for sun, but then they're just keeping your neck warm as well.
And look, the tech in them is incredible as well. The length, the depth.
Just think about how long we spent, going through samples. It was such a long journey, wasn't it, Leon?
It was.
Getting the exact right fit, getting all the materials.
And I had to do a double take because last week I was looking for some stock because to send to Wild Earth, and I couldn't find any. And I was like, "What's going on?" And I went back to the stock take and checked the stock take, and there was a handful left. And that's because we gave them all out across America. Lachie did. So now in the back Midwest America, in California,
There's some wild places that have those hats now, and some interesting people that have those hats. But it's awesome. It's a conversation starter. You're running through a town that really only has trailer parks and like a truck stop, and then you're giving out pink hats to people who,
in one of our episodes, we were talking to Brooke about, a runner, a friend that she's made in the community, and she was telling her through her journey and showing her all of the different things that she's collected over the time. A little bit like this little stash here we'll talk about in a moment. And she had these things on a wall. And I reckon that there's some runners out there in America and in Australia with the Lachie Legionnaires hat.
They wouldn't have even washed them.
No, of course not.
Just straight off my head onto the wall. No, we gave them new ones.
It goes up in value.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
The Lachie sweat.
Yeah, the Lachie sweat. Yeah, it's on eBay. It's worn once by the legend himself. Look, we unpacking, the journeys that you've got for 2026. On the separate podcast episodes, which if you haven't already seen or they haven't been released yet, I can't wait for everybody to see them because the conversations are just so poignant and powerful. But like any operation, any business, we need to look to the future and how we grow and what we do. And, we have kept it quite succinct with our athletes that we've wanted to keep. And I think next 2026 is really about our product diversity and growing the product diversity. But I'm very cautious of becoming another fast fashion brand. I was driving with my daughter yesterday and Kmart, can we mention other brands?
Yeah,
Kmart have a $3 t-shirt, right? Now, I don't even know how you make a shirt for $3, but, and my kids go through t-shirts like you wouldn't believe, right? Like $3 t-shirt's a good t-shirt to have for a kid because the moment it goes to daycare, it's ruined. Right? But maybe not so much for the runner who's doing some challenges on a recurring basis, and who's running regularly, who's going out there and being challenged by the elements, being challenged by their own body sizes, their changes in body as they start to run, the friction. All of these things I think are really key in determining when we make our next product and how we grow our range.
The materials, the breathability, there's actually so many aspects to it that need real precision engineering in a sense, so.
Yeah. And so next year we'll see us go to our supply chain to find the best type of fabrics. But I want to do this a little bit unique, right? So what I want to do is I want to we all heard the story of Michael Jordan signing a long-term contract and his mum making sure that they got a percentage of the royalty, et cetera, but they were involved in the process. LeBron is involved in the process of design. Giannis is involved in the process. Kyrie, maybe not so much anymore, but, all of these guys, they're involved. Mo Farah, when it comes to running. So what I'm really interested in doing is really unpacking what you guys want, right? Like, I know you've had athlete sponsorships in the past, Lachie, and I know that, Brooke, you've now got more athlete sponsorships, so congratulations on signing with Physio Cream last week. But I really want to, understand from you guys what you guys want, whether it be in product, what you need, what you're challenged by, the $3 shirt at the moment, that doesn't quite fit or doesn't quite work or doesn't quite empower you. Because my view, it'll just like the hats, should be the last thing that you're thinking about is what you're wearing when you're going for a run. Because you're in your head already. You've got a focus that you're trying to achieve something. You're an athlete trying to be something. And the last thing you want to worry about is the abrasion on parts of your skin or the fitness or the tightness or whatever it might be. So I wanted to open up this episode to you guys to sort of have a chat about what running garments you like, need, want. We'll then overlay that with technology, supply, and data, because who would have thought that wide-legged women's pants is the number one trending piece of apparel?
Yeah, it's hot right now, isn't it?
It is.
Very hot.
Right? But that's what they are like. Is am I right? Yeah, they'll love them. Like it's something ridiculous, like, I don't know, 85,000 searches a month, women looking for these wide-legged pants. So, what we will do is overlay the right data as to, are others going to want this? We have brought a bit of a show and tell, a bit of a collection. I don't know where these came from, by the way.
Don't know at all. The mysterious donor.
I have no idea where the Gold Coast Marathon shirt or the Melbourne Marathon shirt.
Every shirt has a story.
Finish
I'd love
shirt.
to hear some of your
How many marathons
stories.
have you done, Lachie? The New York Marathon runner's shirt. So these are shirts that you get after you finished a marathon, right? Now, I thought some of them are sponsored by big brand names, but they never fit properly, right? And they're not the greatest of material, in my humble opinion. And so I really, maybe it exercises a little bit inside your mind of what means something to you. But I really want to use you guys to be a part of this journey of what we bring out next. And we'll take the followers in our community on the journey over the next 6 to 12 months as we bring out the next things. But yeah, what do you reckon?
I know. The first thing that I noticed is you kind of hit the nail on the head around different people, different body shapes, different. Something needs. An ideal product is something that can accommodate most people. Because one of the things I love about running is you can take the start line at a marathon, and you will get the broadest array of different people, body shapes, sizes, and everyone's running the same race, they're crossing the same finish line, but everybody looks different, and everybody has, it is different shapes, sizes, weights, speeds, but
the diversity, and how some of them are under 4 hours. We saw it last year, didn't we? At the marathon. All shapes and sizes. You'd look at them in the shopping centre, these people, these everyday athletes that are going out there and doing this, and they're running sub-4s, and you're like, how? Like, it doesn't matter what build they are. They're just, some are really big, strong athletes, others are not so much. But so running doesn't judge like that, right? And yeah. And it's interesting. There's a brand that I follow online called Fate. It's a female brand, but I really love the founder of Fate and the way that she communicates with her community. Shout out to Fate. But also she has this way in which she delivers her product, right? And there is no sizes. Oh, there is sizes, obviously, but she opens up to all sizes. I think from size 6 to size 24 or something. I don't know, huge, huge growth, a group of sizes. And she said that the laziness in the mass-produced products is that it's just through laziness that they just focus on a certain size group. So sizing is obviously a key component.
Yeah. And for me, I guess, like if I was to think about running shirts and all of my finisher T-shirts, I might wear it that afternoon after I've run because it's the only dry, clean shirt. But then it kind of goes into the bottom of the drawer. Like I don't really.
I found all these in the bottom of the drawer.
I
had to take them off the wall and first.
out of the
out of the frame.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tend not to rewear them, and certainly not for running.
So what are you wearing on a day-to-day basis?
What do you grab? What do you grab when you go for a run? That's the question.
I just don't. Similar to you, I've bin mine. Like they have no meaning to me. Like you get the medal or whatever, and I put that in a drawer. But a shirt, I'm like, doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, I guess the reference of having the shirts here was not that they were going to be worn. Again, they should be able to, apart from the fact that they've got finisher written all over.
Yeah.
If they're a running shirt, it should fit a running style, I would think.
They give me the worst chest rashes of all time.
Chafe. Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but like material that like this, the synthetic stuff just doesn't agree. It doesn't agree with my skin. And that could just be because I'm overly sensitive skin. But truthfully, like if I'm going for a run, I will grab something like a cotton t-shirt. And I like the simplicity in it. I like that it feels the same every time I run. My body's used to it.
Do you not get it too heavy when you sweat?
Well,
like when it sticks to you?
It's interesting but I think there's a lot of different variants in the thickness of the cotton, because I won't wear, like, for instance, a Bonds cotton t-shirt is quite heavy, right? I'm not going to wear that running.
We're meant to like beep out brand names.
Oh, sorry.
I'm joking.
Kmart. I mean, so listen, like I think for me personally, I like a nice light cotton shirt, simple but cut in a way that isn't tight around my neck. What about you guys? What do you grab when you go for a run?
To be honest, I just grab whatever's in the drawer. Like, I think one of the good things about, like, I've even run in like shirts like this, which with sweat are a little bit heavier, and it just conditions you. Like, sometimes I'll get chafe under the arm, like depending on the length of the run, chafe on the arms, or the nipples will disappear. But you always sort of make do. But if I had like an ideal shirt, it would be something that's light, like very light. I almost, like, if you look at like a traditional training shoe versus a race shoe, how they're lighter, they're not as durable, but that's what I would take for a run. And then you'd almost have a training version, which could be cotton, but it is a little bit more durable. And you know that it's got a certain amount of time on it before it wears through, but it's specifically built for that, and you're not going to get underarm chafe and everything like that. But I guess even from a product standpoint, for me, the most important thing for me is socks. Like, and I know it's not what most people want, because I generally am not running in a shirt.
Instagram is a testament to that.
No, I just, like, if you think about what's most comfortable, it's not a shirt. Like, I want as much breeze as possible, especially when you're running a marathon, or a nice loose.
Do you don't wear a shirt when you run a marathon?
Most of the time, not, no.
Wow.
Like, obviously in winter I did.
What about those shirts that have those sort of strategic cut holes?
Yeah, like, if you can get a singlet and whatnot, they're pretty good.
Socks you can't do without, obviously.
Socks are so important because you get blisters, and that's why, like, for me, toe socks are the most important. Like, there's certain brands that I'll wear that I no longer wear, that they'll just compress your feet so much, and it's just so painful running them. You pull your feet out and they look like crow's feet.
Yeah, wow.
Are
they finger socks?
No, they're not. They're just
toe
tight.
socks?
They're meant to be compression. But
Oh, sorry. So you like the one that is a toe sock?
I love a toe sock.
So
Yeah.
is that got an individual little toey for each of the
little toe, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And you're just not getting the toes rubbing together.
I didn't even know they were a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't until I kept getting blisters, and someone said to me, start wearing toe
I was the
socks.
same. I started wearing toe socks when I was started trail running, because one of the things that I'd noticed is that, you know, as a runner, you have to remember to cut your toenails. And if you don't cut your toenails cut your toes. And that's what a toe sock is great, because it actually, like, if I forget to cut my toenails, then my toenail's not going to cut the toe that's next to it, or cause a blister, or they don't rub. And sometimes, like, I use like an anti-friction balm and stuff as well, because my biggest issue, like, you know, as a woman, like, it's sports bras, and that's predominantly where I get the majority of my chafe and stuff as well. So you rely on chafe balms and friction balms and stuff, but sometimes you forget to put them on your feet. And, you know, socks are, I didn't realize, like, I was looking at the price of socks, I'm like, that's if you pay $30 for a pair of socks. But I can't tell you how many pairs of $30 socks I've got in my wardrobe now.
Same.
Because I just, like, it's by far been the most valuable investment for me.
What do you think about merino wool, like 100% Australian merino wool on those socks?
I have run in a pair of merino wool socks on the trails, and they've been really helpful because they, especially if you're going through like a creek crossing, they don't drench your feet. So the wool actually, like, the water runs off the wool almost. So, you know, you don't get soggy feet. And I hate soggy feet.
It's worst.
It's disgusting.
You know, it's when you're running those marathons and you're going through the drink station, and then when I'm going through the drink station at like a 5-hour pace, everywhere's already wet, right?
Yeah.
You know, when you go through, it's dry as a disco, but with me, it's It's
But
there's
even
wet
if you
everywhere.
got ultras, like I did GC50, and like you get to a point where you stop under every shower and you're just drenching yourself and stuff as well. And it's just, but yeah, keeping your feet dry sometimes is horrific. So I don't mind the merino wool, but I do find that on a road marathon they get quite hot. So when you're on the trails, the ground doesn't get as hot because it's more sheltered and stuff. Whereas if you're on a road marathon, you pick up the heat through your shoes.
That's interesting.
So your wool socks get quite hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see two skews coming here.
Trail
run
right.
skew and a marathon elite skew.
Yep.
Or just every day.
Yeah.
I agree. I just think they're the most, for me personally, and for a lot of people that I train with, it's like socks are the things that everyone's always complaining about.
Yeah.
Because so shirts are like, if I were to actually say what I would love to run in, would be probably a cotton, but a light cotton. Because if you get something like that and that sticks on you, it's just like the plastic on you. And it doesn't feel nice either. You're always like pulling it off.
The shirts that I certainly go to is predominantly a singlet. Like if I can, it's a singlet, and that's whether it's winter or not. Like it's because I'll get hot eventually. It's cotton, it's light, it breathes. Some of the and tend to size up as well so that it doesn't stick. For me, I don't love fitted shirts, and I know a lot of women do, but I don't really. Because I just like to breathe. But yeah, it's just that light breathability and the cotton stuff as well, because cotton typically doesn't hold odor, whereas these stink.
Yeah, bloody.
Like I ran a trail run not long ago.
These ones specifically.
Yeah, these ones have been in a few suitcases.
But you can sometimes you can smell from it from meters away because they don't hold, and they don't
they don't breathe
moisture
as
wick.
well, do
They
they?
don't.
That's so valuable. And so we all know Lachie's favorite color, and we all know your favorite color or multiple colors. What about color and design? What do you sort of see when you do it? Are you motivated by that, or are you just throwing the shirt on and away you go?
For me, I'm definitely motivated by color, but and I generally am just, I'll just pick out of my wardrobe, and I've got a specific shirt, a specific singlet that I've got in multiple different colors, so I can just grab it and wear it. But for me, that's because I buy all the color and stuff as well. So it just happens to be my wardrobe. I do find that it motivates me, and it keeps you get more energy out of color. I see a lot more color at events and stuff as well. But one of the things that drives me or draws me into a particular brand, even I found your buddy, I think, before you guys found me, because of Lachie's hat, because I was looking for a running hat that was colourful, and I couldn't find one. And then I was already following Lachie because my daughter's obsessed with Amy. She's her biggest fan.
Makes two of us.
I reckon she'd take you on as biggest fan, number one fan. But so colour is something I look for. I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but it's definitely something that I look for.
I look for at least one colourful piece, so whether it's cap, socks, or if I'm wearing black socks, same thing. It's like I'll grab my socks out, I'll grab my jocks out, and then I'll go pants, shirt. Like that's how I do things. So if I end up grabbing a coloured pair of pants, and I'll just go for a plain sort of shirt or singlet, because I don't want to look like Christmas tree running around. So that's sort of how I do things. But there's always one piece where I want it to sort of pop.
And are you a multiple buyer, or are you of the same thing, or are you?
Yeah, as soon as I find what I like, I don't deviate. Like if you look at my wardrobe, everything in my house is just, I'm very loyal to things. And when I find something that works, I don't change. And I'll wear that until they're no longer made. Yeah. Even like running shoes. Like I'll go back when I was CrossFitting, I would be wearing like the Metcon 3s, even though we're on to Metcon 7, because the 3s were just ideal. So you're trying to find the older stocks of those, because they worked well for me.
That was like when they went with the Kayano 27s to the 28s. and they became these boat shoes, like floating down the river things.
Yeah.
Now you're like,
the
I've got to wear this mattress on my
Yeah.
feet. But
That's why even the other day when I bought another 2, not of that, but just different colours, so I didn't always look like I was wearing the same clothes, even though I have all the same clothes. And then I ran that track race, and I took it off with the last lap.
were they for you?
Yeah. And then I like,
How good is this? The sponsored athlete.
and then I took it off
that
like
buys
the
his own
last
shirt.
lap.
right.
I took it off on the last lap, and I'm thinking, don't forget that because that's my new favourite. And then I walked off and got home. I'm like, damn it, left my hat.
Well, mentioning of Amy, we do have a gift for Amy. Well, it's for you for coming on the podcast, but what do you get? A guy. So we got Amy for the
I like
congratulations.
flowers, you know.
Some flowers. But for you, we can give you a hat. Like, I'm sure. Do you reckon we give you a hat?
Come on, guys.
Yeah, I do have a question though. Do you ever think about the practicality of color in the night? Because like I'm always worried I'm going to get hit by a car. So
That's a huge thing for me, and something that is not. It's something that is really hard to find on the market. So running in winter in particular, like I mentioned, where I live on, we live semi-rural, we're on country roads, there are lots of trucks,
And they
there are
would
no
just
street lights.
book it down those roads.
And
don't
yeah,
they?
so I've got a headlamp, and I have 2 headlamps, one I wear on my head and one around my waist. But reflective gear is real, and this is where color comes in handy as well. I do have one fluorescent yellow shirt, but short of running in a high-vis vest like a construction worker, like it can be really dangerous if you're running in winter and I run in the mornings because it's when I prefer to run, but it's really dark. But color, it can be really important when you're running in the dark.
I think what we'll do is we'll look into some of the materials that can do like a dual purpose white that we might be able to put onto a coloured t-shirt that acts as like a reflective surface.
I think it's important with those because I've got some running pants that have the reflectors, but it literally peels off after 2
Right.
washes. And that for me, I'm just like, this is crap.
That's
You
that's
pay
so
for it,
annoying,
you pay
yeah.
good money
Because the
for it.
reflective stuff is almost plastic.
Yeah.
What about tool belts? Have you seen them around? I've seen them recently. Yeah, they're getting popularity. I think Nerd
Yeah.
Nerd
might be a belt. Do you guys see them as something that you
I do have a running belt. That's what I attach my headlamp to.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I don't like the big bulky ones
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
It's such a
I
personal
did
thing.
Melbourne Marathon and when I ended up taking it off and throwing it because it was cool for the gels, but then like the pants that I ran in had a phone pocket under, which was a skin, which is elite. Like I love that. And then the pockets, it was just easier to run having the gels in there. Then it was constantly just slapping me in the guts and the man bitch, and you're just like, this is going to kick my ass if I don't get rid of that.
So, because for me, I prefer to I'd prefer a vest over a belt. But even like I've started training and even at 777, like I started not even wearing a vest for a marathon, and running with handheld. Like I had a handheld water bottle.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. But I will, if I do wear a belt, usually it's just for my race number, my race bib. But yeah.
And what about logo and branding? Are you concealed? Are you, subtle? Is it?
Depends on the brand.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
There's some. I won't. There's some where I'm like, this is a great brand to be a part of, and it sort of embodies and amplifies who I am and what I believe. And then there's other stuff where I'm like, cool gear, like Kmart, like just get that on, get cranking with it, and it does the job. So I think it comes for me personally back to the brand.
Yeah. And it's values alignment and stuff as well. And I'm the same. Like I don't mind if it's a big brand, if it's a big logo, if it's something that I'm aligned with and something that I want to promote and something. So for me, it's not necessarily neither here nor there.
Exciting. Well, that's some really interesting
Great insights, right?
Insights.
Well, I'm super excited to get stuck into designing some shirts. I think like my natural inclination as a designer is to make things that are a little bit out there. So generally what will happen is I'll make some really out there stuff, and then Leon will bring a bit of the practical, not everyone's going to love that, Eugene. Let's try this direction. And generally it's like a back and forth between the two but between both of us, and we end up aligning to some pretty practical stuff. Yeah, exactly. So, but I'm excited to get stuck into making some.
I'm excited to see what the
See what we
shirts
do.
Yeah,
end up
me
being.
too.
Well, over the next few months, we'd like to invite you to the Creative House, really test some samples, test some product, give more
design,
of
some
a creative
patterns.
idea. We're going to go on a journey to find the best technologically geared materials that we can find, particularly around this idea of reflective gear, and taking that to the supply chain and saying, well, hey, this happens after this amount of time, and really powering us at Yebuddy to become, that first choice when athletes throw on their laces and throw on their shorts
Love it.
and shirts
Love it.
and hats, obviously. Great. Well, thanks very much for joining us today, guys.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
having us.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful rest of 2025, and we'll see you next year.
See you next year.